4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4. You can't go to 6.
You have to do the clap on everything. So 1.
Alright, so on today's Test the Tech, we got a couple actors in, as you know, and we're going to be hitting some monologues. They got a minute, but there's some leeway time for them to complete it. We're going to have an amazing time.
What am I doing here, bruv? Bang!
We've booby-trapped car doors, cigarette packets, jerry cans stuffed with TNT.
Do you know the damage one ignorant Negro can do with you?
Tell my husband that he has 36 hours to convince me in person that he truly regrets the unfortunate choices that he's made.
You need people like me. Recording the lie? Okay.
Thank you guys for coming on firstly. I just want to say that. Like it's a big deal for me getting you all here, especially as we come from, I met you different paths. I met you at different points in this journey. This journey is acting, you know. I met you. Introduce yourself.
What do you say? My name's Harris Cain.
Come on. Cain. I met Harris. And you?
Yo, what's good? My name's Ramone.
Harris and Ramone. I met them in college even. CWC.
Come on, represent.
You know what I'm saying?
It's Minister, isn't it?
Yeah. Still, we had to trek there.
It was calm for me still. I was still living in Holborn then.
It's calm.
2-hour bus ride there.
2 hours?
No, that's commitment.
From here, like,
you got peas for train.
Yeah. Now you jump that shit.
He's too soft. He's too soft for that. I told you.
That's what I was, but anyway.
Okay. Yeah, so we have Ramona Harris and we have Yvonne from university. I met at Arts University, Bournemouth. Not Bournemouth University, Arts University, Bournemouth. You know, there's a difference. They're next to each other, but people don't seem to know that. How was your experience there?
Very good. Thank you, all the Arts University Bournemouth teachers and students.
They're definitely going to see this. Yeah, I hear that. Thank you.
Thank you. It was good.
Be very nice to them. I hear that.
Yeah, man. But honestly, this journey that we've been on, I know we all had our individual ones, but we had some highs, some lows, but we're still on it and we're still young. And as actors, there's many stages to it. Oh, we're just opening the doors and getting involved. We're not at the top yet. But still, I believe that we still have voices and we still have a right to talk about our experiences and the things that we go through. So that's why I brought us here today. You guys all inspire me. And so, yeah, man, it's going to be an exciting talk.
I feel like you said, even though you're not at maybe the pinnacle of your careers, I think people will still be able to learn from like the stepping stones and the little experiences you have and about the industry. So I think people would also benefit just from hearing what it's like to be in like the starting stages of that field. You get it? So I think it will be all around beneficial for everyone. I think it will be quite exciting. There's monologues that everyone's going to be able to watch at the end of this episode. So stay tuned for that because
it's going to be late.
We have some artistic acting excellence.
A lie. Artistic acting excellence.
Some Golden Globe. I was trying very hard to say
it was that vocal.
Try the vocal woman.
Yeah. Learning from the pros, innit? So we're there now. But yeah, so we're going to go into bit by bit, I guess, about what it's like in the acting world. I guess first question I'm going to ask you guys, before we go into all the other stuff, is what's been maybe your most daunting or intimidating experience in the acting industry where you've gone to an audition or a job and you thought, I'm shaking, or this is going to be mad? Like, any of these things?
Yeah. 2 feet first. You sound like
everyone was just like, that moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, icebreaker.
I'd say like there's only been one. I'd say like when I'm unprepared, innit? That's when I really feel that, innit? Like there was this one day I had to learn this monologue. I also had like a fight audition in the morning, innit? So I went to that. After I finished that, I remembered I forgot the script. I needed to be off book. I wasn't off book. I went to the audition now, yeah. Oh my gosh. She had a copy in it. I was like, can I just see that for a second? And then I didn't want to look at it bare in it to think that like, all right, cool, I'm just using it like as a base. I don't really need to read it like that. So then my mind was just like, nah, I really need to impress her. This is a big thing. And I was shook as hell, and I was just thinking like, nah, fuck this, I don't need the paper. I started the monologue, fucked it up completely. She was just like, all right, cool, yeah, whatever. I get a call from my agent that night saying she told me that is the worst actor they've ever seen. And then I was like, he just didn't know his lines. He was terrible. And I was just there like, nah, fair, I was. But then they were like, but you know what? They're gonna give you one more chance. They want you to do a self-tape instead. And so I did the self-tape, and they were like, thank God you did that. But obviously we're gonna go a different direction. But thank God you did that.
Deemed yourself.
Yeah, man. I almost fucked it in it, but like, that's the only time I feel like proper scared. Unless it's like big stakes. Yeah, that's the only time where I'm not like fully prepared in it.
But if anything, you say that would come from lack of preparation rather than fear.
Exactly. Yeah. That's like, it's like I'm more anxious about that than anything.
Yeah, I understand that.
You know what they say? Well, tutors used to say it. Fail to prepare. Where does it say it?
Fail to prepare to fail.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Words to live by.
Yeah. I remember this is not related, but I done a theory test practice, and I got like 1 mark below.
I remember.
1 mark below on the practice, and I was just about to go in. Guess how much I got in the theory test? 1 mark below. I was fuming.
It was written for you. Yeah, I mean, you have to pass at least one theory test before you go and do the theory test. But it's quite hard.
What for your car? Driving.
He got it now. You're in the big Benzes right now, don't worry about that.
Yeah, I'm struggling.
She said pass. She
run that shit.
Okay, no. Okay, yes, I've thought of one. I guess it was I feel like I'm always talking about this. My Thomas and Friends audition. That was quite daunting because I'd never been that. They wanted me to do ADR, which is like.
What is that?
How do I explain it?
It's so when you record in like a room. So, say she's done the animation and she's watching like the screen going as she's watching the clip of this. What I'm trying, you know what I'm saying?
Like catch-up voiceover.
Okay.
Yeah.
So voiceover, literally that.
Post-production and that, even if you have someone. So if I'm speaking now and you don't like the sound of my voice, you can go in post-production and then get someone else to speak over me. So it looks like me, but you hear someone else.
I understand.
So I was speaking over a woman who had like a generic African accent, and then I had to speak over her voice with my Kenyan accent for the train. And so I was just all over the place, and that was quite daunting because I had no idea what I was doing. And then they asked me to sing as well, and I was like, but you know, at the end they said we're gonna go with a different singer, and I was like, yeah, fair enough.
That's fine. That's fair.
That was quite daunting.
She still got the Thomas that tank.
Before we go on to Ramone's one, we definitely have to talk about that quickly. So you are Thomas and Friends' first African inclusion. Is that right?
Yes,
that's
right.
Me. Come on. Oh, is that what you're doing? I heard that. We clicking now. All right.
Yes, the first African railway engine.
That's mad.
From Kenya.
That's sick.
That's sick to hear, man. But yeah, we'll talk more about that in a second. Let's do Ramone first. So Ramone, your most intense, maybe daunting moment.
I literally just had it, you know.
Oh wait. Oh, in your head or as in?
No, it was in the memory was in my mind. So just in the
you ain't cut out for this.
Don't make me do it.
Bro, I was thinking you look calm as well.
Oh crap.
You can just say I'm always confident. It's not a problem.
I'm always confident. It's not a problem.
Smooth. Old Spice. I see you. Look away. Look at me.
No, I did actually have a thing, but it's not there. I'm not always.
Yeah, that's minor.
I forgot it.
Okay. What else you have for them?
Well, I could actually tell you mine.
Sorry, how rude.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I forget that you're.
People don't know I'm an actor as well.
He's dead. All of it. Rap it.
Everything.
Listen, stop this light skin.
I understand. The clicks.
No, I like the clicks. I don't like it, bro.
But when I was actually auditioning for East 15, the university that they went to.
Wait, you not get into it? Call me a bad guy.
No, I never went into it. No, but the reason why, I say the reason why, I use it as, so I pick my options.
Yeah.
And that one was not a filler, but I didn't know what else to pick. And because they done acting and stage combat, what we're going to speak about a little bit later, it was cool idea, but I didn't want it to be too much focus on stage combat.
Yeah, I understand.
And so I wanted a more like varied experience because I still needed to learn. Anyway, I got to the place and I was like, this is fucking sick. I wish I like prepared properly then. Like, because not that I winged it, but I could have definitely been more prepared. I went into the audition and I done this, I think it's a Shakespearean monologue. We had 2 monologues and the Shakespearean one. And the guy, I done it and the guy said, oh yeah, that's cool. Now, like, can you do it as if you're not telling your own story, as in the character story? And it threw me off because literally he was telling this story. So maybe now it'd be different. Maybe I'll be able to take on that
approach.
Yeah, take on that approach differently. But I was struggling at the time, and I was like, and you know when you feel like I was not in my character's mindset at the time. You know, I was definitely in mind thinking, is he thinking this shit? Is he thinking it? And from then, it just went
downhill. Happens, man. Happens.
It does happen.
But
yeah, so that was mine.
Yeah, all for a reason.
Yeah, I like all
for a reason. You get it?
Still.
They say rejection is nothing but redirection. You get it? So motivational one for you lot.
Say that one more time for them. Say that one more.
Rejection is nothing but redirection.
I like that. I like that.
Are we?
Yeah. Come on.
That's what I'm doing.
I remember my daughter moment now.
Time was beautiful. No, man,
remember
we're here.
first year we had to do singing solos. I can't sing innit. Or like to be fair, drama school did teach me a few things about hitting notes because now I can say I can sing. I would say I'm a singer, but back then that wasn't my thing at all innit.
Yeah.
And then we had to do these solos, and so was it first time or second term? So you're fresh there. And you did it in a theatre in front of like 120, 130 people, all older years, and them man are just like, there you go, sing, innit? Yeah. And then we started...
Sing what? Like,
so
anything you want? Or?
Mine was called Don't Take Much from the Life, and I'd never heard of the play from before.
Yeah.
And so...
try to skip over that. Let me hear it.
Maybe at the end we'll do a little thing. The voice ain't that warm yet. But we so it was about a pimp singing about how it's easy for him to get women and that. But me, I went out, I was just trying to, you just get yourself in that mind, suppress the nerves, breathe and that, and you'll be fine. Once you get going, you'll be fine. And then, man, I went out there just underneath my legs just shaking. I was trying to stand still. Then I don't even want to bait out the teacher, but he was playing the piano.
Baiting.
Steven Downs.
You hear that sound?
I was playing the piano, and in rehearsal, it was this thing all the time. And then man just started playing something else on the stage. I'm nervous. I can't sing. The guy that's supposed to be leading with the piano's playing something else in another key, and I'm just like, what? And I'll just look out in front of everyone. Everyone's looking at me because they're obviously expecting me to do something.
Like, who is this guy?
Literally, and that's like, imagine that's first year in front of all the people in the years above. So when you go for a pie and spoons now, no one's gonna want to chat to you, bro. That's what I was worried about.
That guy that bottled it on day one. No one trying to be your friend.
You're that guy now.
You ain't getting no babes at the bar. Look at you like next. No, it happens though, man. Yeah. And the thing about heart beating happens whenever you're on somewhere like where it's got to be intense and you're feeling nervous, bro. I feel my heart beating my toes. Like,
but it means you care about it, though.
Yeah, and the thing I think. Nerves for me, if I'm not nervous, like you said, you don't care. But I think if I'm not nervous, I'm more prone to making mistakes. Because the nerves keep me in check. Because I have to prepare to handle the nerves beforehand. Like if I'm shaky and I go in there shaky, I'm gonna be shaky. But if I'm shaky before, understand that, acknowledge I'm shaky, calm it down. And I'm still in my head. I'm still shaky, but it transforms into like vibrant energy. You know what I'm saying?
Concentrate more in it.
Yeah, 100%, 100. So, what I wanted to ask you, we talked about the dauntings. What about, have you ever had a moment, or like an audition, or you can even speak on like a time when you was acting on stage or on camera, and you know the energy's there, you feel the vibrancy, you feel it like with your partners, I don't know.
Co-actors.
Anyone on stage, and everyone knows that they're rocking it or killing it, or like I said in the audition, when you know, and afterwards you felt, wow, I got it. I already know I got it. Have you had that feeling that you felt that?
Yeah. I'm quite like harsh on myself sometimes. So I never feel like I've got it like ever. I always feel like, nah, that could be better. That could be better. But there has been a moment like, I don't even know how to explain it, man. Just the emotions just took over, man. It was during our third play in third term. We done Boudica, and I played the character Gaius Suetonius, who was like a Roman general. And
Sorry, bro. For them, can you just explain Boudica for a little bit?
It was a
Jesus. Oh my gosh. Can I
a little
overview?
overview.
Basically, there's this woman called Boudica, and basically she's part of a tribe who are like oppressed by the Roman Empire. Is it the Roman Empire?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but like now they're waging wars, like they're fighting back, but like they're seen as the savages, which they are. They come from like the mud, like they don't play by these like Roman rules in it. So they're trying to take over, get their land back in it. And then Gaius Suetonius, the one who's running the Roman army in this sector, is basically like their enemy. But he's like someone who's not doing it because he enjoys the arts of war. He's doing it for his country. Like he's kind of conflicted in that way, where it's not like him deep down is not a soldier, but like he's just the most intelligent, the most adaptable. So he does what's necessary in it. And so so it takes place at just like near the end of battle. Everything's coming to its final climax where Boudica is going to reach her end. And then there's just this one moment where like I've been told that Boudica's like she's doing a mazza basically. She's taking up posts, she's like overtaken, she's getting her kingdom back in it. And I'm like I respect it, innit? And I'm thinking like these lot will do anything, and like I'm kind of scared, like as a human, not a soldier, I'm scared in it. So there's one point where I'm just sharing this monologue, everything's dark and it's just the light's just on me, and I'm like I got bare emotional. Just I don't even know why, fam. You know when you're just in the zone, innit? Tears started falling, and like it's not even that much of an emotional scene, but it's like just to show like how scared he was. And like, even my teachers were like, hold back on the tears. Like, it wasn't anything. It wasn't anything I planned. It was just like I was going through this flow of energy, and like it just came out, and I just couldn't control it, and I was just like so overwhelmed by emotion at that point. And then someone like snaps me out of it, like another character walks in, and then I'm just there like, oh shit, wait, no, I'm still in this play. I've still got like lines to say, but yeah, man, I was just overwhelmed by emotion. But obviously, I had the next scene coming in it, so I just had to like, and I embraced it. I didn't wipe the tears. She knew what I going, like she knew her captain was in worry in it, so I was just there like, all right, what are you here for? And then, but yeah, that was the only moment. Well, not only the moment, but one of the moments I remember feeling.
It was the rocking.
Like I just was an out of body experience. Didn't feel like Harris anymore at all.
Come on, that's the best moments when you forget yourself. Not when you forget. Obviously, you don't remember afterwards, but in the moment when you forget yourself and you're truly embody this character, it's magical. It's magical. I hear that.
Mine was second year, first term Shakespeare.
Come on.
Had an amazing tutor. Shout out to Mr. David O'Shea. He was so
dog.
sick. So
He was the best.
Yeah, mine was I was doing Portia from Julius Caesar. In the scene where she, talks to her husband, and she's upset and sad that he won't confide in her, and then like she cuts her thigh because she's trying to prove to him that she can endure pain and all of this stuff. So there's a lot going on in that scene, and I remember when we did it at a church.
I remember.
Yeah. I remember coming out and I could not see, because we had like audiences sitting either side of the stage, could not see anyone. Like my focus was on my husband at the time, and as I was doing the monologue, I was so into Portia, but in my head I was like, I'm killing this.
Come on,
this is sick.
Yeah, you feel it.
And I think that was actually one of my best performances. I don't think I've ever been able to top that, which is sad. But
You will.
Yeah. But yeah, that was mine.
That's interesting. Ramone.
Ours was in third term. We devised our own shows, and boy, I'll tell you, the one that we come up with was so heavy. And yeah, I'm like, coming out of it, not trying to be cocky, I'm coming out of pride at what we created, man, because like, we had to source costumes, we wrote the script, we directed it ourselves, it's sort of lighting, all like audio cues and everything, like from bottom to top. And some people are used to that before going to drama school. Me, I'm not really into all of that, innit? I wasn't into all that, so we had to do it. But yeah, our group, we made a thing based on World War I called Blutkrieg, which is German for blood war. So we kind of created that name because we wanted. It was so heavy. And then I remember I was just like, let me give myself a little bit of a task. So I made my guy from Tennessee. And I know I can do an American accent, but I don't know. I've never tried to sustain it. Like, you know, when you're a kid, you watch American films. So by the time you're 16, you can do anyone can do an American accent. But I never tried to sustain it for a character and that. And I just remember, like these guys were saying, you're just in that zone and you're just forgetting who you are for the moment, and you're in that moment. And I was just so proud of what we came up with, and it was mad because we all kind of got along in our class, but obviously some people, you're not going to get along like that with everyone, innit? Yeah. But for that, everyone just come together. We came in and we did our work, and even though there were some people that might have done things to annoy each other, we still come out with something that was amazing. And like I reckon we could put that on professionally now. Do you know what I mean? Like now, like for sure. That's how confident I am in that. Like one of them. And the fact that we wrote and created that ourselves.
And sourced costumes.
Man,
That's a lot now, man. That's interesting.
So it was one of them. And like, you know, it's good when, cause I don't know, like when someone gives me a compliment, says well done, only certain people you can kind of take that as an actual well done, innit?
Yeah, I understand.
So when I felt good in it, and then people coming to me afterwards, certain people like the head of like the school said, oh yeah, that's the best I've seen you doing, stuff like that. I was like, yeah, I secured that. That was my one, innit? Like, so that's the next, like you said, Yvonne, I don't feel like I've reached that again. So, but I've got I know that's my benchmark, and I know that's the best I've done, and I know I can do better than that. Yeah. So I think at this point you have to kind of create your own stuff, innit? And then put yourself in that situation and smash it.
Yeah, exactly that. Because you said from creating your own work, and so the pride comes from in front of, like, on the stage, but also behind the scenes.
Trust.
Because you don't put everything in that.
Trust.
It means a lot still.
Late nights and everyone just getting vexed with each other and
the headaches.
I know that.
The dark night of the
just
soul.
like sibling arguments, dumb shit.
It gets
Everyone's
techie.
hungry and tired as well, and it gets techie. But as long as you come through the other side, man.
Yeah, and everyone is like motivated and hardworking, and everyone wants the same goal. You know what I'm saying? The same outcome.
Yeah.
Glad you found that, man. I'm
Real,
glad.
What about yours, Taj?
Mine. I think, if I'm going to think of one, I'm going to say it was Rising Damp, which is my actual first professional theatre gig out of uni, it was a comedy.
Okay.
And basically, I'm going to just tell you a quick scene. The scene was literally the landlord and my character was going to fight, and they were going to beef. And they started a boxing match, and so he got it. The landlord's in the scene, and he's quite an old guy, and he's there just preparing, and then you see me open the door, and he's like shorts, in a vest, ready, feeling strong, macho. I'm walking in, and everyone goes, "Ooh!" And that gets me already. I'm like, "Are you dumb?
I'm that guy.
Dumb.
This me.
You're never gonna see what I'm about to do next." Right, so
You wait.
I walk into the scene. Yeah, he's on one side of the stage. I'm on the opposite side of the stage. I'm kind of eyeing each other down, and that he's bare text, but he sees me and he's a bit shook. I ain't even done nothing yet. And what I do, I fall to you see when people fall into press-ups? Mm-hmm. I fall into press-ups, yeah? And then I kind of pick myself up and then sit on my lap, and then I do a backflip up. You don't know what I'm saying. Because that was before even the beef started. And I was like, nah, you
charged up.
And so from then, we had I think I had 3 or 4 shows. From the first night, I knew that moment was. So every night it just kept on growing for me. Like I was doing a lot. Like they was like, bro, last one you didn't do that.
So I was taking 30 minutes. It took 3 minutes on the first one.
It's meant to be a 5 second.
I'm tired now.
As the touch coming out of his production all swollen.
Yeah, the thing you're doing, I'm thinking, bro, you gotta be strong to be doing that, bro. I hear that.
It was well. Yeah. No, I'm quite light, innit?
You just know it on camera.
But yeah, no, that was one of them thrilling moments for me, like them exciting ones. Now I want to talk about, like I just spoke about, outside of university. I want to hear about your experiences. Because we graduated all in 2018. 2018, yeah. So when I went in this acting world, you know, we're not Hollywood, but we're there. So I want to speak about your experiences. How have you found it in the acting industry?
Like once you step out of uni kind of thing.
Nothing like I expected it, fam. I was so naive going into drama school, going into performing arts in college, thinking like, I want to act, man. This is my thing. It's my time. Come out of drama school, excited to leave drama school, but still, I'm just there like, all right, cool. So well gone. I was fortunate enough to get my first job like literally like a few days after. It started shooting a few days after we finished uni. That was Enterprise, innit? That was my first job.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Come on.
Talk about that one. I'll join you. Talk about that one.
Yeah. So Enterprise, for those who don't know, that's Roll Safe's TV show.
Coyote, BBC Three, and that.
Big moves out here, baby.
Big up yourself.
So I was just in a small cameo with it, and I didn't have to do much. Just had to get carried away by a policeman on his shoulders, innit? And I noticed the Enterprise lot and be like, oh, you got Enterprise, innit? Oh, yeah, let me grab one of those. And I was like, oh shit.
I remember watching that thinking, my dog.
So my bro. But no, so I done that, and then like I was fortunate enough, like I remember this because I was getting changed because there was like, that's a wrap. I was getting changed, got a text from my agent saying, all right, cool, there's this feature film, what someone's recommended you in, like we want you to do that's in Wales next week. And I was like, say no more. So then I done that, then like nothing for like fucking like months on months, and I was just thinking like, so this is how hot and cold it can be, right? Say no more. And like I got an agency, and like I'm so thankful they picked me up in that. But like obviously they're busy women, innit? So like it's hard, innit? So they just drop everything on you, and like you're expected to do this because you've signed a contract, you're an actor. This is what you do now, exactly, innit? And so it's just a hell of a lot. So like you could be getting sent like self-tapes, like you get 3 in 1 week, you get 3 in 2 days, you can get 1, you wake up, your agent's belling off your line saying, yo, you got an audition at 1:30 today, you have to be here, can you do that? Cool, calm, I'll let them know. So it's so quick. But then on the other hand, you hear nothing for like weeks, you hear nothing for months. So like I said, it's very hot and cold, and it's something I wasn't expecting. Obviously, everyone tells you like, oh, you're doing acting, like, you know, that's not like a solid foundation. And I didn't like I heard the minute, but I was like
whatever.
Like, surely it's not that bad, you know. I understand. But now I'm realizing, did it? And it's not that bad, innit? But it's just
you gotta be ready for it.
It's very hot and cold. Let me just leave it at that.
How did you guys maybe equip yourself for that feeling of like, obviously when you got 9 to 5, a steady income? How did you guys equip yourself for that hot and cold and on and off thing? Was you ready for that, would you say, or did you have to kind of learn to be okay with that?
I think for me, I've always been like that. Like my first job was in hospitality, so you know them 0-hour contracts. TGI Fridays, Covent Garden.
Bun them, bro. I done that, bro. Imagine giving me shave on my first one, bro. Shave the whole facial hair and that, bro.
What for your job?
Yeah, hospitality as well, like some agency. Yeah, they're like, you have to come clean shaven. I was like, a little mustache is not gonna hurt. He's like, bro, razor or go home. I was like, I'll go home. He's like, all right. And so then you got to pay for your shift as well. I was like, give me the razor.
Pay for your shift.
Pay for your That's not work. That's crookery, blood.
Bro, man's 17, innit? It's like it's agency. You know what I mean?
Trying to exploit that, innit?
Yeah, he's like, obviously, if you're not gonna shave, you owe us a shift, innit? I was like, give me the razor. I was like, give me the razor, bro. Traumatic, but yeah. But side note, how have you equipped to that?
So yeah, I've always been that kind of guy. Like you earn your money week by week and stuff like that, innit? So when it comes to that, I kind of know it's very similar to the acting sort of stuff. You do your job, you don't know when the next job's gonna come unless you create it yourself, and you don't know when you're gonna get paid as well, because they say within 30 days, but sometimes these men take 3 months and all that.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
I'm all there with like tumbleweed coming through and that, just chicken.
Your bank account
just John Travolta looking around.
No, but I'll tell you
it's
one thing. It's a mad thing when money just pops up. Acting money, bruv, it's different. Sometimes I forgot I'm an actor. Some acting money comes.
And that's the nice thing is you're making your money, innit? Like, hey, watch me step out in these Dolce & Gabbana clips I don't normally wear anyway, man. Just put my size on.
I get you, bro.
But yeah, it's literally like that. Like I feel like, for me personally, I was already in that kind of lifestyle. So yeah, I've never been in a 9 to 5 or anything like that. So it's not a big shock. Probably drama school was the only time, because we was in probably the same as you. It was 9 till 6, Monday to Friday, 9 till 6. So yeah, you kind of understand what the weekend's about at that point.
So you're a bit more equipped for it.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yvonne, how about you? Maybe like how do you feel about
it? I'm gonna echo what these guys have said.
Okay.
I was not prepared for coming out of university. Got my first job, got an agent, and I was like, yes, I've done it. no one cares whether like you're near from Thomas and Friends. Like the jobs are not coming, and so that was like a blow for me. So 2019, I was just like, yeah, I didn't know what to do with myself. And then you kind of learn that it's a bit hot and cold, so you have to prepare yourself mentally. But I've always had a job working for my mum's care agency. Shout out to them, Dub's Care Agency. So so I get my money, and because my mum and aunt know that I'm an actor, if I ever need time off work, I'm like, I've got an audition today, so I can't.
So you said you got a good support network in that sense. So you said you did Thomas Friends in 2019.
No, in 2018.
Oh, okay.
But she graduated and then got a job.
Straight away. That's mad. That's sick.
He's my moving like that. I was here waiting.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
I may have a crumb.
Not even more. But yeah, so I guess sticking on that topic. So about Thomas and Friends, don't know if we should maybe use what we spoke about last time about the fact that how do I say this? You essentially experienced a little bit of backlash from the fact that Thomas and Friends, some people were a bit annoyed that there was a diversity in Thomas and Friends.
They were a bit annoyed that she was from Africa and that she was a girl. Because Thomas and Friends came about with new changes when I came in. So the 2 boy engines got moved away to make room for 2 girl engines, and that did not go down well. And also because she was from Africa, which means technically she's black, but trains don't have races. So
the EDL train supporters were just like,
so,
not having this.
Yeah, they got angry, photoshopping KKK hoods on Thomas and Friends.
Thomas and Friends, this is
crazy.
Just
to make a point.
TV program as well.
You'd think it's like, obviously, it's children that's watching this.
Yeah.
Obviously, but it's not children making this, it's grown adults, you know what I'm saying?
So
big people.
They had to give me like media training to know how to, like, what to say in interviews. To not say things like
that would just hurt them, basically.
Yeah, but you know things can get turned around quite quickly.
Yeah, of course.
So they might use that against me, and I've seen it on Twitter. Like I think I was talking about how I'm happy that the engine, you know, a little girl will watch it and say, oh, that engine's just like me, and then people turned it around and they were like, why does she think she looks like a train? I was like, that's not what it
People
meant.
got too much time.
They just got
that's what it is with this stuff.
Clip and they just ran with it, and I was like,
you wish you could slap people through the phone, like
Through the
slap
phone.
them, and then the phone just in their face, like, you know.
Bro,
yeah.
it's like from the I guess the idea of the directors, they were like, all right, obviously, like London has changed, you get it. Thomas and Friends, which is an old thing, do you understand? I get it. Maybe they were all these English or male characters, you get it. To produce that like diversity and to like kind of have that idea of multiculturalism threading through Thomas and Friends is, I think it's cool, innit? Do you get it? Like, I don't really love, like, see when people be like, oh, we need to get like an ethnic or a black guy into a show. I don't love that sometimes when it's taken away from the show, innit? But when it comes down to just kid shows and just like little trains, you get it? It's like, okay, they're trying to educate people about of cultures and of ethnicities. I don't see how you can have a problem with that. Do you get it? But
People
somehow
can find a problem.
Anything when their own lives are miserable, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Perfect.
It's like misery needs company, innit?
Yeah.
It's true.
And they must get a kick out of cussing people doing well in their career. Do you get it? So sorry for any backlash you did experience, but we've got
shining.
Your bag, so
you got your bag.
Still shining.
Yeah, 100%, and gonna shine. Do you get it? So
All right, so I'm gonna have to wrap this short, but before I do, I want you guys to introduce your monologues that you're gonna do.
Oh,
you know?
great idea.
Alright, cool. So the monologue I'll be doing is from a play called Crossfire, written by Michael Azamar, and I'll be playing the role of Jonathan.
Come on.
Cool. The monologue I'm doing is from a TV show called Scandal. The episode is called Nobody Likes Babies, and I'm playing the First Lady, Melly.
Beautiful.
And mine is from Sucker Punch by Roy Williams, and I'm playing Leon, which is Daniel Kaluuya played him as well. So I hope I've done you proud, brother. If you watch it.
When you watch this,
when Man Caesar starts grilling my monologue,
imagine who's this guy trying to be me in that. Hopefully you'll be happy.
Me and Mono got involved as well.
What did you do? Okay, fair enough. I did Al Pacino, Scarface. Now you're back.
Alright, mine is from a play called A Soldier's Play, written by Charles Fuller. If you saw me on my phone, then I had to Google it real quick. I forgot, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, it's sick. You're gonna see.
You lot are gonna see some real live out action.
And if this conversation, 40 minutes long, well, it felt like 5 minutes. If you want a part 2, let us know. We got you. You know what I'm saying?
Like, we've got so much more to talk about.
I know.
We've got so much more to talk about.
This is tip of the iceberg. Really and truly.
It's just scratching the surface. You know what I'm trying to say, but. I couldn't say, guys, thank you so much for coming. Do you get it? I've had a ball.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
It's been lit.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's time for Test the Tech.
Alright, bro, look. So the first fight I'm having is against this tall, skinny-looking kid. From the minute I step into the ring, he's staring me out like I burgled his house. Like, what am I doing here, bro? Bang! He lands one right on me. I'm going dizzy, I'm all numb, but I do not like this. I want to stay out of his way. I just want to go home. Yeah, I think I'll probably just stay out of his way. Yo, the crowd seem to like it when I move around a bit. Yeah, I'll go a bit faster then. They're lapping it up. Skinny white boy don't know what to do with me. I get in a jab and it hurts him. My first punch as well, then another jab and a swing uppercut. Blood, I'm taking him out. Me, my first fight and I'm taking him out. Fucking hell, yes. Starting to love this.
The most difficult thing to do is cut the throat of a man who's still alive. You mustn't waste a single slash of the knife, and it's best if you do it from behind. Playing the hero is pointless. We've booby-trapped car doors, cigarette packets, jerry cans stuffed with TNT. We've fired! Even on kids. Because they grow up one day, they'll shoot you in the back. Helicopters dropped, clusters of missiles, the camps burned, the vines burned across miles of hills, stone walls exploded. It only takes 48 minutes and then you're finished with the bombs, the explosions, the human pulp. Hang on in there, not much further till the end. Whole kids would throw themselves in front of tanks, whole bunch of them squashed, obviously. Others set on fire with flamethrowers. Human torches running another 100 yards just for one more second of life. Slaughter. Pow! The other guy falls, you step over him, you don't see anything anymore. A corpse falls on top of you, blows into bits and pieces, all cut to shreds, splashing you into a shower of blood. Every step you take, children in bits, babies with busted heads, disemboweled women holding on to their children. You're like an animal. It's them or you. Fire! Bang! At anything in sight. A kid, a cat, a pal. Bang, bang, bang! Oh. Save yourself. Bang, bang, bang!
Cyrus, Fitz is still talking divorce. Now I am trying to stand firm, but he is getting difficult. You need to fix this. Tell my husband that he has 36 hours to convince me in person that he truly regrets the unfortunate choices that he's made, and that he is ready to rededicate himself to his wife and children. Because if he doesn't, I will go nuclear. I will walk out in front of the press and I'll explain to them that my marriage is over because while I was pregnant with this child, my husband was having an affair with another woman. I will leave him and I'll take his children with me. I will take every penny he has in the bank and every dollar of political capital that he has in this town. I will court feminist groups and women's groups and religious groups, and I will bury him. And I will dance on his grave. So you tell him that from me.
He's the kind of boy who seems innocent, Wilkie. Got everybody around the post thinking he a strong black boy. 'cause he hits home runs. White boys envy his strength, his speed, the power in his swing. Then this colored champion let the same white boys call him Shine or Sambo at the officers club. They laugh at his blue songs and he just smiles. Can't talk, barely read or write his own name, and he don't care. He'll tell you they like him, or that black folk ain't supposed to have but so much sense. Do you know the damage one ignorant ego can do, Wilkie? We're in France during the First World War, Wilkie. We had just won decorations, but the white boys told all the French gals we had tails. And then they found this ignorant colored soldier, paid him to tie a tail to his ass and parade around naked, making monkey sounds. They sat him on this big round table in Cafe Napoleon, put a reed in his hand, a crown on his head, and they called him Moonshine, King of the Monkeys. And when we slit his throat, you know that fool had asked us what he had done wrong?
What are you looking at? You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? Cause you ain't got the guts to be who you fucking wanna be. You need people like me. So you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So what would that make you? Good? You're not good. You just know how to hide. How to lie. Me, I always tell the truth. Even when I lie. So say goodnight to the bad guy. It's the last time you're gonna see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you. So make way for the bad guy. Bad guy coming through.